What are we aiming at? Okay, we can't just be doing something just to be doing it. We can't just be doing something just to say, well, I did that, well, I read that self-development book. Well, I went to that coach's, I took the coaching session, Toya. I joined the membership. Well, I did this, I did that. Yeah, but if you didn't have a goal, if you didn't have a plan, you didn't have a strategy, if you didn't have some intention behind that thing, what is the aim? What are we aiming at? That's why that woman had that conversation with that man, because she want to know, like, what are we aiming at? Where we going? What's the meaning behind all of this? What is the purpose of this? Like, I want to be involved in this. I want to be a part of this, but I want to make sure I'm a part of something that's worth my time. I'm a part of something that's going to give back to me. I want to move with intention. That is the one mistake that a lot of people make that holds them up from their dream life. They do just like how I was doing when I first started my walks. They start moseying around. And it's like, well, I did it. I showed up. I came. But did you really put your best foot forward? Come on now. Did you really put your best foot forward? Okay, you went to church. Okay, but did you just go to church just to say you went to church? Or did you really put your best foot forward? Like, were you attentive during the service? Did you listen to what the pastor was saying? Can you tell somebody what the message was about? Like, what is your plan to execute on what the pastor said? What are you going to do when you leave the service today? What action step are you going to take when you leave today? That is intention. That separates you from everybody else that just moseyed in there for the sake of coming to church. Same way with any other environment. Coaching, group coaching. I have a group coaching program that I coach my divine ones. For the divine ones that say, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to be intentional. I'm going to listen to the teaching. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to execute on what Toya taught us how to do, what Toya trained us on how to do, what she coached us on, what the other coaches were speaking about. I'm going to do my research. I'm going to read. I'm going to study. I'm going to set a plan of action. I am clear on the one thing that I need to do today when I leave out of this coaching session that's going to move me closer to my goals. Those students are going to have better results and are going to have better success than the students that just come in the session for the sake of coming to the session. Because when we mosey around and we just, let me see what they talking about today. Like how I was doing with my walk, just moseying around. Then looking at the scale and mad because I ain't seeing no results. No, you ain't gonna see no results because you're not being intentional. You moseying around. But let me tell y'all this. This is something I realized. When I set some intention behind my walks, my whole demeanor changed. Everything changed. I went from the woman that was moseying around, my whole identity changed. Intention changes your identity. I want y'all to write that down. When you set intention behind what you're doing, it not only changes the method of what you're doing, but it changes you. It changes your identity. Because I shifted from the woman that was just moseying around, to the woman that was on a mission. I became a woman on a mission. Now my walks are not just about me moseying around. My walks are about, listen, I'm a woman on a mission. I got a goal. I got somewhere to be. And every step I take now, I'm looking at ways that I can increase my speed, methods that I can, and in me doing this, I learn new information. I learn that if I take shorter steps, that's going to allow me to move quicker. I learned that when I have my hands free, when my hands are free, I'm not holding something in my hand, not holding something in my phone. Holding my phone in my hand. When my hands are pretty much free and I can use my arms now to help me with my stride when I'm walking. And I take shorter steps because as I'm taking shorter steps, it allows me to walk faster. And it allows me to get my steps in quicker versus taking larger steps like that. And so it is changing my whole identity. When you set an intention and when you move with intention, it changes your whole identity. Get ready to become a whole nother person, because you about to be a whole nother person. Your family is not going to recognize you. They're going to be like, who is this woman? Who is this man? Who is you? Come on now, hit y'all with that. TJ, y'all put it in the comments. Say, who is you? Like my baby, TJ, baby, who is you? They ain't even going to recognize you. Your husband is not going to recognize you. He going to be like, what is my wife? Who are you and what have you done with my wife? Who are you and what have you done with my husband? Who is this man? Like on the color purple. He said, Hoppo, who them woman? Who is you? Yeah, you want to change your identity? Come on, Shara. Come on, Tamiko. Come on, Melanie Rankin. That's it. Who is you? If you want to change your identity, you want to become a whole new person, set some intention behind what you do. Set some intention behind what you do. Even with cooking, even as a mother, when I started setting intention behind the meals that I was cooking for my children, I started seeing transformation happen in my children. I started watching their portions. Instead of just moseying around, going through the motions, just dumping food on their plate. Here you go, here you go, here you go, here you go. No, now I'm paying attention to their portion sizes. They asking for something like, baby, you don't need them seconds. Okay, mama gave you enough on your plate. That's enough. You don't need the seconds. Okay? Why? Because I'm thinking about, and a lot of people will be like, no, I don't agree with that. But let me tell y'all why. I'm thinking about the things that my children would have to deal with as far as their self-esteem. The world is cruel. Okay? Children are brutal. Children are brutally honest. And that's part of us protecting our children is we got to steward over them and watch what they looking at, what they paying attention to, what they eating, how much they eating. This is all intention. This is all intention. And then now what's happening? TJ, Tater, they getting compliments from people. They like them compliments that they done started getting from people. Like, oh, what you doing? You look good. Oh, you losing weight. Oh, you shed. Oh, you look. Yeah. Why? Because intention changes everything. It changes everything. So when we stop just going through the motions and we stop just moseying around, and we add some intention behind that, okay, let me look up some recipes. Let me look up some more healthier options that I can feed my family, because I learned this too. Women, you have so much power over your home. You got so much power over the atmosphere. Literally, whatever you go in that kitchen and make, they gonna eat. They gonna eat. I don't care what it is. They gonna eat. Because what else they gonna do? What else they gonna eat? So whatever mama eating, if you done change your lifestyle, you done change your habits, you done start introducing that to your children. Start introducing that to your whole household. And then what happened is everybody in your household, it don't happen overnight now, but they slowly get on board. They're going to slowly get on board. And then after a while, everybody moving with intention. Imagine how that changed the whole atmosphere of your house. Imagine how when you live in a household that has set an intention for a new life, and it all started with you now. You are the change. Put that in the comments. Say, I am the change. You are the answer to the prayers that you've been praying. You are the answer to what you've been looking for the answers that you've been seeking. Come on now. Come on, Coach Tyson. If you don't buy it, then they can't eat it. What they gonna do? If it ain't in the kitchen, if it ain't in the refrigerator, how they gonna get it? So boom, that eliminates a lot of the stuff right there. Is you scratching it off of your grocery list. Now they ain't got the Oreos in there to eat. Now they ain't got the ice cream in there to eat. So we just don't even buy it. Come on now, that's it. Y'all put it in the comments. Say, I am the change. I am the change. That's it. You the change. So imagine a household that is moving with intention. I see a lot of the things that y'all are having to pray for. You will be able to eliminate a lot of things off of your prayer list by simply moving with intention, by simply paying attention and being intentional. You know what? Let me pay attention. Let me pay attention. You know what? Let me put my phone down. Let me close this laptop. Okay? Let me actually listen to my son read this story. Let me actually be available for my son right here. Let me actually be available to have this conversation with my daughter right here. A lot of things that you having to pray about, I see them just disappearing. Because intention changes everything. It changes you and it changes the atmosphere around you. And so another synonym for intention is target. Target. I want y'all to put that word in the comments. Target. Target. So when I started on my walks, like I said, the shift for me, the huge shift for me, and when I started seeing transformation, when I started seeing next level results, was when I set a target. I set a target. So like I said, instead of me just moseying around, I started looking at my watch for more than just the steps, because I used to only use my watch to track my steps. But I started looking at the other aspects on my watch. Like I started looking at, I go to the activity section of my watch when I'm on my walks, and I started looking at my distance. I started looking at how the mile that I just walked, how long it took me to walk that mile. I started looking at my average time per mile. I started looking at my speed. I started paying attention, and I started using intention. And like I said, it shifted my identity from the woman that was just moseying around to now I'm a woman on a mission. And when you set an intention, I want y'all to please hear me when I say this. When you set an intention, you give off a different energy. You give off a different spirit. The world outside of you can pick up on is something different about this woman. It's something different about this man. When you set an intention, you send out a different spirit. Come on now. When you become a woman on a mission, when you become a man on a mission, when you become a man with a target, when you become a woman with an aim, with a target, your walk change. Your demeanor change. Your facial expressions change. Your spirit change. Your identity change. Everything changed. And then what happened is the outside world, all of the opportunities and the blessings and all of the wonderful things that were closed off from you, because you have an intention now, and because you sending out a different spirit, you sending out a different energy, you know what that do? Them doors fly open. They fly open for you. And now you start seeing things that you didn't see before. So because I set an intention to behind my walks, and I set a goal, I set an aim, now I'm finding out all this information about walking. I'm learning all these new things about walking, and I'm understanding that walking is a whole science behind this. Like it's lit. It ain't just walking. It's a whole science behind this. So I'm becoming like a master walker. Like I'm becoming, and everything I'm learning, what I'm doing, I'm adding value to myself, because now I can share this information with my audience.